8 hours. Every single day. On my phone. 3 years ago, this was my reality. I would wake up and the first thing I touched wasn't my toothbrush. It wasn't water. It was this small screen that controlled my entire life. 8 hours and 23 minutes. That was my daily average. And I genuinely believed I was being productive. I told myself I was networking. I was learning. I was staying updated with the world. But deep down, I knew the truth. I was escaping. Escaping from the fact that I was 22 years old, a university dropout, living with my parents, with $12 in my bank account and absolutely no direction in life. My phone was my escape from reality, and reality was terrifying. Let me walk you through my typical day. I would wake up at 6 a.m., and before my eyes even fully opened, I was scrolling through Instagram, then TikTok, then YouTube, then checking emails that didn't matter, then news that made me anxious. By 9 in the morning, before most people even started their workday, I had already spent 2 hours staring at a screen. 2 hours of my best mental energy, completely wasted, and the worst part, I didn't even enjoy it. It wasn't fun, it was compulsive. It was automatic. My hand would reach for my phone without my brain even deciding to. I was on autopilot, and the destination was nowhere. Every day looked exactly the same. Wake up, scroll, feel guilty, promise to change, repeat. This went on for months. Actually, years. Then came the night that changed everything. I was with my friends at a restaurant. But here's the thing, we weren't really together. Everyone was looking down at their phones. No conversation, no laughter, no eye contact. Just the blue glow of screens reflecting on our faces. And suddenly, I felt this overwhelming emptiness. This crushing loneliness. Despite being surrounded by people, I looked around and thought, is this what we've become? Is this what I've become? I went home that night, feeling sick to my stomach. I opened my phone settings, went to screen time, and there it was, staring back at me. 8 hours and 23 minutes. Daily average. I did the math. That's 2,920 hours per year. 121 full days. In 1 year. Gone. Forever. For nothing. And I realized, if I continued like this, in 5 years I would have wasted 600 days of my life. Almost 2 years. On what? Likes? Comments? Dopamine hits that lasted 3 seconds and left me feeling empty. That night, I put my phone down, looked out the window, and made a decision. Not a promise, not a goal. A decision. This ends now. I didn't just say, I'll use my phone less. That's what I had said 100 times before, and it never worked. This time, I built a system. A set of rules so simple that following them was easier than breaking them. Step 1. The morning rule. No phone for the first 2 hours after waking up. None. 0. Instead, I would walk outside for 15 minutes. I would drink water. I would write down 3 things I wanted to accomplish that day. Sounds simple, right? But here's why it works. The first 2 hours of your day set your brain chemistry for everything that follows. When you start with scrolling, you flood your brain with dopamine. Everything else feels boring in comparison. But when you start with movement, with sunlight, with intention, you build momentum. Real momentum. Not the fake urgency of notifications, but the deep satisfaction of progress. Within 1 week of this rule, my energy changed. Within 1 month, my entire days changed. Step 2. The app delete. Not the accounts. I didn't delete my Instagram or TikTok presence. I just removed the apps from my phone. Completely. If I needed to post something for work, I would use my laptop. But mindless scrolling, impossible. Because here's the truth about habits. You can't break bad habits. You can only replace them, or make them impossible. Willpower is limited. It runs out. But friction is unlimited. When checking social media requires opening a laptop, logging in, waiting for it to load, you create enough friction that your brain gives up. The first 3 days were hard. I would reach for my phone automatically 50 times a day, and realized the app wasn't there. By day 4, that automatic reaching stopped. By day 7, I felt free. Actually free. For the first time in years, my attention belonged to me. Step 3, the 30-minute rule. This is the safety net. If I ever caught myself scrolling for 30 minutes, any 30 minutes, I had to do 30 minutes of deep work immediately. No exceptions, no excuses. Pain and pleasure, balance. This rule did something powerful to my brain. It made scrolling expensive. Every minute of entertainment now had a cost, and that cost was real work. Suddenly, my brain started asking, is this meme worth 30 minutes of focused effort? Most of the time, the answer was no. And the beautiful thing, once I started the deep work, I usually didn't stop at 30 minutes. I would get into flow, I would create, I would build, and those 30 minutes would turn into 2 hours of the most productive work of my life. This one rule alone probably saved me 500 hours in the past 3 years. So, what happened? 3 years later, my screen time averages 1 hour and 30 minutes daily. Mostly emails, maps, unnecessary communication. The scrolling, gone. The addiction, broken. And my life. Month 4 after implementing this system, I made my first $1,000 from freelancing. Month 8, $3,000. Month 14, I moved out of my parents' house into my own apartment. Month 20, $5,000 months became my normal. But listen, the money isn't the point. The point is time. I have time to think. Now, time to be bored. Time to let my mind wander without constant input. And you know what lives in boredom? Ideas, creativity, solutions, dreams. Scrolling is where dreams go to die. Boredom is where they come to life. I read 20 books last year. I learned 2 new skills. I built relationships that actually matter. And the funniest part, I don't miss my phone. Not for 1 second. I don't miss the anxiety. I don't miss the comparison. I don't miss the constant feeling of not being enough. I'm free, and you can be too. So here's my challenge to you. Pause this video, open your phone settings, check your screen time, look at that number. Is it 4 hours, 6, 8, more? Now ask yourself one honest question. What did you create today? What did you build? What did you learn that will matter in 5 years? If the answer is nothing, I'm not here to judge you. I was there. I lived there for years. But I am here to tell you, it's not too late. You can start right now. Today. Delete 1 app. Set 1 rule. Take back 1 hour. Your future self is begging you. Every minute you give to your phone is a minute you steal from the person you could become. And that person, they're worth fighting for. You are worth fighting for. Now put down your phone and go live your life.